Hey everybody, welcome to the show today. My name is Bethany. Today's project is so cute and it was so fun to make. It's this itty bitty cute paper bag album. I've heard a lot about these and I actually found a great way to make this 6-page album using one small paper lunch bag. It was so much fun. It was quick and easy, so let me show you how I did that. So the first thing we're going to start with is the tape transfer technique. This is so much fun to do. I'm going to use the tear by hand Scotch tape by 3M. This is really easy to tear by hand. You don't have to find scissors. You can just do it by hand. Just pull it out and tear by hand. Isn't that easy? This actually came from a gardening catalog. I'm a gardener, and I have all of these gardening catalogs lying around my house, and I decided to use these gardening catalogs as my photos. If you want to use your actual real photos, just take them to your local copy store. Make sure that you're making photocopies with a toner-based copier. That is crucial. If you do it with an inkjet, it's not going to work at all. You can just take a bone folder and make sure that this tape is really stuck down to that copy. So now we're going to put it in a bowl of water. You can actually see that it's rolled up. So we're going to unroll this. I'm going to turn it over on the other side, and I'm going to take the pads of my thumb and I'm just going to rub this paper right off. I don't want to use my fingernails because I don't want to scratch the ink. And see how that paper just rolls right off, and when you flip it over, the ink has actually stuck to the tape. It's such a cool technique. Here's one that's dry and is transparent. I rubbed all of the paper off. The image is still there. Isn't that cool? Right here I have a small size paper lunch bag. What I wanted to do is I just need to snip down the side. So you clip all the way down the sides. I'm opening it up because I'm showing you how I cut it. I cut it along this edge, opening it up a little bit more. I have this bottom portion. I open up a little more. Now all I have to do is trim off this bottom portion. So now you see I have this long rectangular piece of paper bag. You'll notice that when I fold it in half, that one of the seams that I didn't cut folds it exactly in half. This is important. Make sure this is a really nice crease. Now you want to open it up and we're going to fold it lengthwise. So I'm going to fold this towards you. I'm going to match up the corners, and we're going to make a crease. So now we have two creases. We have one that was halfway and we have one that's lengthwise. Now what we want to do is fold it halfway. We're going to fold these flaps. I have my hand on the crease and I'm going to fold it towards my hand. So I folded that. I'm going to flip it over, hold the side with your hand that has the crease, and you're going to fold it back. And if you're not quite getting all of this, all of the instructions are going to be in the design guide. Fold this back and crease it. Now I'm going to hold my crease. I have this crease in my hand. You can see that. I've just folded these pieces back and there's a new crease right here where I just created this. I'm going to take my scissors and cutting on the original creased side, I'm going to use my scissors, cut along my lengthwise crease to the creases I just made. Lots of creases going on here on this page, people, but it's fabulous when it comes together. Open it all the way up like I just did. One more time, I want you to fold it lengthwise. And all you're going to do is push the pieces together. Fold it, and there you go. Isn't that cool? Let me do it again just to show you how it goes together. It's all the way open like this. You're going to fold it lengthwise. And you're just going to push those two sides together, close it up, and you have your album. So I'm going to use some white acrylic paint and a foam brush, and we're just going to swipe this paint on. It dries pretty quickly on this paper bag. I paint all the pages inside. I just think it adds a nice weight to the album. I also added some blue paint on top of my white paint. The thing that you need to do whenever you want your paint to dry is kind of fan it out, and so air can get in all those pages and they won't stick together. So here's my painted album. You'll notice that on the inside pages I painted a little border. And here is the front of my album. I also added Garden of My Dreams. This is going to be a little garden book out of some rub-ons. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add our tape transfer to the cover of this album. Remember, I had one that was already dry. We're just going to place this right on top, kind of close to the binding. And we're actually going to sew this on using just a regular machine stitch on your sewing machine. So I have one that I've already done that with. I used green thread, I sewed it on, that got the transfer on really well, but I kind of wanted to add a little touch to the inside of this. So here are my Lemon Vines paper from Around the Block. I love these papers. They have beautiful bright colors, and they actually look like somebody took photos, applied a color filter to them, and then kind of distressed them. I think they look so cool. Added some adhesive because whenever you do this tape transfer, your tape isn't going to be very sticky, so you do have to adhere it in unique ways. Now I have this little base. Now I also love the way that this flipped up, and so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this almost kind of a little album on top of an album. I wrote some journaling about this album, what I wanted to say, and I'm sticking it down with some adhesive, and I have this little opening right there. Isn't that cute? I'm going to add some decoration to the binding. So I had this really old dictionary. The pages were kind of brittle and they were already this nice brown. So I decided to rip out some of the definitions and actually just add them to my binding. Now these pieces, I can just rip them right off. I really like the way this looked, but this picture actually has a little bit of brown in it, and so what I thought would be cool to use is this Easy Walnut ink by Fiber Scraps. So this I loved, and you can see how easily it goes on. It has this nice foam tip. If it's not coming out the way you want it, you just have to press on that. It dries really well too. And so now you can see that added a really cool look to this album. So now what we want to do is add an accent to this little title, Garden of My Dreams. So I have these really cute little stickers, and they fit well with the theme and with the colors I wanted to use, and I'm just layering them on top of one another. Now what I wanted to do was add these really cute little paper flowers and just layer that on top as well. So now we're going to use our needle tool. We're going to lay it on our cutting mat and just poke your needle tool all the way through the layers. Now we're going to put this together on our layout. I'm going to actually make another hole. I'm going to open up my very first page. I'm going to lay this down right beside my title. I'm going to stick down the stickers. I'm going to take my needle tool one more time. I'm going to go all the way through. Now I'm going to take a little green brad. I'm going to layer it through. This is kind of tricky. And there you have your cute little flower accent. So now let me show you how I decorated my little paper bag album. I added this really cute glassine envelope. I journaled directly onto it. I made a little tree. I added some more transfers. I journaled. I have a little trick how I end all of my projects. I put them away from me on this little shelf in my scrapbook room, and I step back to look at it, to see if things are balanced, to see if the colors flow, to see if I notice the pictures instead of the elements. And what I noticed on this album is that I couldn't even read Garden of My Dreams. It's a white rub-on, and so it got lost in the paint. And so what I decided to do, I just added another rub-on word, Dreams, right on top of it. I mirrored that. I also added a scanned definition, the word garden. I popped it up on some foam, put it right on my transfer, and there I had my awesome little album that I can put on my shelf. I'm so proud of it, and I had so much fun making this. I'll see you next time.
For step-by-step instructions on how to create this week's project, download the design guide featuring special make-it-your-own bonus tips.